Okay, so good evening. So please go to our Facebook group, which is hands-on marketing, data science for marketing. I have uploaded the source code for DecisionTree, so please renew my source code, which is on December 16th. 11月16号的，请各位呢重新再 reload 一下 ，because I have updated some source code. So you need to make a copy on your Google Drive. So you can list as a version 2, 第二版本。Okay, so for 2 weeks before, we have discussed how does the process for making the decision tree for Steve play tennis, right? 好，把荧幕切过来一下哈。Okay, so you guys know only 14 records and with 4 parameters, and it almost take you guys half an hour to draw the decision tree for the play tennis, right? OK, 还记得吧？前几周我们大概花了2周的时间，你大概花了大概半个小时的时间，30分钟的时间，只处理了怎么14笔的资料，4个栏位。Okay, so you can imagine if your data is more than maybe 10,000, it's impossible for us to calculate, to draw the diagram for decision tree by human being. OK, 所以说由人我是没有办法去产生出来的。OK, so for the source code, I have provided 2 examples for decision tree. So you may go to the simple examples for iris, which is on the section, let me see the section for 22. So you may go to the section 22, decision tree for iris dataset. Did I mention iris dataset before? 有吗？对不对？ Okay, so the iris dataset is a very typical dataset for machine learning. Did I explain the source code last week for decision tree? 我有讲这边的吗？有讲后面 iris。好 ，OK, so never mind， 我重新讲一遍 ，OK。So you may expand all the source code by expand all the sections. Otherwise, it will hire some cells for the source code. So you may expand all the blocks. Okay, so since you guys know the iris dataset only has 150, okay, 只有150笔的资料 and it's a real data. Okay, let me have a quick review for how to deal with the iris dataset for decision tree. And you guys know the most important things for data analytics is how to deal with your data, to manipulate your data, the data processing for your data. But for the AI model, it's very easy. Only maybe 2 or 3 lines, you can build the AI models. So for the examples for Iris dataset, so the first thing is you have to import the required packages. Okay, right now we set up a server by the Google, okay, and import the required packages for our decision tree. Okay, 我把荧幕还给你们 so you can practice your own source code on Colab. So please to try to understand the source code I provide, not to memorize. So you have to realize the process for data analytics, not to memorize. And also you have to check all the source code if you don't understand. Okay, so first we import the most important packages for visualization, pandas, and NumPy. Okay, so this is the three most important three packages for Python, especially for data analytics. Okay, since you guys has upload the Iris dataset to your data folders. So right now we can read the CSV file. So the CSV file, how many columns does this dataset has? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 columns. Okay, with the first column is the ID, the numbers for each records. And the rest 4 attributes, 4 columns are sepal length, sepal width, 花二的长度，花二的宽度 petal length, petal width, 花二的长度，花瓣的长度，花瓣的宽度。And for the last variables, which is species for iris, 品种。So there are three species for iris dataset. One is Sentosa, and the second is versicolor, and the last one is virginica. So there are 3 species for iris dataset for this dataset. Okay. So the dataset has 150 records with 6 columns. 好，这边应该都跟上进度了吧？好，我等各位还没跟上进度的举手一下。好，赶快。And section 22 第22个单元。Okay, so you can check the index by the right and left-hand side navigator this way. Okay, 22 section decision tree for iris dataset. Okay, so you can see to check the columns for the iris dataset, ID all the way to species. 这边我就不收你们的荧幕咯，应该都没有问题，直接执行你们的 source code 就好了从第22节开始。好，有没有人没跟上进度的？都 OK 吗？刚才举手的有没有跟上进度了？我记得上一次有请你们 download 嘛，有 download 这个 iris dataset。 哦，应该有吧？啊，好 ，OK。不然那个助教，麻烦你一下，把这个 iris 大写的 iris.csv 上传到我们的 Facebook 上，同学可以下载下去也可以。OK， 好，这边都跟上进度了哈。Okay, so you may check the columns name for the data set. So also you can check the species, the content for the species, Sentosa versicolor, okay? And you can check how many unique category for species. So there are only 3 category for species, right? Sentosa, versicolor, and Virginica. So you can imagine we only with one function unique. So it's easy for you guys to calculate how many category for this color. 对不对？啊，我们为什么要学 Python？ 就像这样子，一个简单的指令。Okay, a simple function is easy for you guys to check to get the information you like, you want, right? Otherwise, you have used the basic Python function if and then or for loop to check all the data, right? 好，所以我们现在在做分析的时候，已经不再用所谓的 for 或 if 的判断了。So for the advanced data analytics, we don't use the traditional Python programming like if, like for loop, right? Okay, so with unique function, it's easy for you guys to check how many category, how many labels for the species. So you can use the lens to check 3. So there are 3 category, 3 labels for the iris species data. Lens species with 150, right? Since we don't know the first column, which is ID, so we drop the column ID. Okay, so we use the drop function. Drop is to delete one of the column. 好，我们把其中的 ID 的这个 column 把它怎么样去掉 ？OK， 我们一共有6个栏位，去掉了 ID 之后，剩下5个栏位。So we drop the first ID columns by using the function drop. Okay. If you don't know the function, so you always can search the keyword with Python, or maybe you can keep to have the keyword for how to drop a column, so you may find the solutions. 好吧？好，假如你想这个指令忘记了 ，if you don't know, you forgot the function for drop, so you can to search the function for Python. Okay, so right now we only have 5 columns. 好，我们现在已经只有5个栏位了，对不对？好，原先的 iris CSV 有6个栏位。Okay, so show me the shape for DF. 150 with 5 columns. Describe. Please show me the continued variables. Describe. 这个是叙述性统计 ，OK? So you can see the mean average for each column, 平均值。You can see the minima and the maxima value for each column， 对不对？啊，这些都是基本的哦。啊 ，OK， key information to check is there any missing value for this data set, and also check the data type for each column. Okay, so for the first 4 columns, the data type is floating point, 实数. For the last species column is object, which is 名目型的 category. And also you can use the function for value count. So what is value count? To calculate how many count for each labels in species, right? Since there are 3 species, so it tells you there are 50 examples are Sentosa, 50 examples are versicolors, and 50 examples are Virginica, right? 所以说这3个品种呢都是各50个案例。Okay, so there are 50 examples for each type. 简单吗 ？Okay, so we use value count value. Okay, so there are 3 values, right? 对不对 ？For species, there are 3 values: Sentosa, versicolor, Virginica, and also to calculate the count, the numbers for each value. 懂不懂？啊，看到这个指令的意思了 ？Value count 就是有几个值，它现在只有3个值嘛，3个值是一样的嘛。那每个值去算它的个数 ，so we use the function for value count。这个简不简单？这个方不方便？如果说你要用以前的传统的 Python 怎么写 ？So you have to use for function to check all the records and and use if, right? Okay, and use if to judge each value, each types, and to count, to summarize, 对不对 ？Okay, to check is there missing value for each. Okay, so we are lucky there are no missing value for each columns. 啊，这个资料集呢是没有遗漏值的。Okay, so we also can use visualizations plot for missing value. And this function is provided by SNS. Is any student can tell me what is SNS mean? SNS 是什么？还记得吗？ So you can go back to the info sections, which the first section we have import, Seaboard. 这个是另外一个 visualization 的软体。Okay, so it's the same as the matplotlib. 跟我们 这个是一样的哈，这个 Map+Live 都是做视觉化的。那这个 Seaborn 啊 ，SEABORN 它是另外一个视觉化的套件啊，功能更好。So we use the Seaborn as SNS. So the SNS they provide provide a heat map 热力图 ，OK? So provide a heat map. Okay. So since there is no any missing value, so you can see they are all greens. 啊，这边都没有任何 missing value. Okay. If you have some missing value, so you will see the bar chart for each variables. 啊，这边因为它是没有遗漏值啊，所以说看起来全部都是绿色的。假设是有的，以后你就会知道它就会有比例啊，就知道哪一个的变数啊 missing value 是最多的啊。Okay, so we to draw the histogram for sample length. 好，那这边就是简单的指令了哈。Okay, you just subscribe histogram, HIST, histogram 直方图。Okay, so you can change the colors name with sepal wise, petal wise, petal length to see the different histogram for each variables. 好，这边你们以后就会了哈。不同的资料集，你就可以用不同的变数啊去看。A sepal wise 花2的宽度 ，petal length the distribution for petal length, petal wise histogram. Also, you can draw the XY scatter. What is XY scatter? XY 的散布图。Okay, so for the diagram for histogram is only for single value. 像这个直方图呢是单一变数的，只给一个变数。那你要看两个变数之间的差异。If you want to check the relation between two variables, so you have to use the scatter, XY scatter, not histogram. Okay, so that's why we use SY scatters. SY scatter is here, right? 我把荧幕切过来一下，这边看清楚一点。Okay, so here I shows with sepal length with sepal wise these two variables. 好，我现在是画花2的长度跟花瓣的宽度的什么散布图 ，and also with the colors for each species， 而且颜色也标记出来。So what is PLT mean? PLT is the Map+Live package, right? 别忘记了 PLT。 is the function we just import, right? Matplotlib we use PLT for short name, 简称用 PLT. Otherwise, Matplotlib, this name is too long for you to use. OK, 好，这边你们可以练习一下了哈。Scalar, so you can check with different sepal length with petal length with petal wise. OK， 好，你们这边就可以自己练习了。Petal length 对 petal wise 因为一共有4个变数，2的话，应该可以画到8个图。2的话可以画到8个图。OK， 好，那你们这边就先看这边是什么啊？这边都一样啊。好，那你们先练习到这里啊。